Hey, good morning and welcome to Journey Devotions on this fantastic Thursday. I wanted to bring a quick devotion to you just about something just simplistic. Sometimes we over-sophisticate God and His love for us and the message that He's given through Jesus. And I just want to just refresh ourselves to a Father's love. A father's love is unlike anything else. A father will do anything for his kids, anything for his spouse. A father will be in harm's way, would go through the distance. You know, even with our kids growing up, you know, we hate to watch them get shots, right? And we always would say, like, if I could get this shot for you, dude, if I could get this shot for you, bro, I would get this for you. Like, I would take this pain. And it brings us to this interesting thing. As yesterday we were talking about being children of God. We've actually been talking all week long about our identity in Jesus and our identity in God and just who we are and why that's important and how to start that process. We sometimes wonder, why did God allow us to be here? Why did God allow us to come to this decision, this place in our lives that seems incredibly full of depression, anxiety, things like this pandemic thing? Like, God, like, if you're a loving God, like, why would you allow this to happen? Well, the first thing we have to understand is that God is God and His ways are higher than ours. The way He processes, the way He thinks. I mean, He's the Alpha, the Omega, and we're just creations in the midst of all this. Creations that He loves more than anything else, creations that He sent His Son to die for, but yet we would never kind of pride ourselves or be ignorant or arrogant enough to think that, like, we would be able to understand the answers even if He gave them to us. And so we come to the self-realization that God allows things to happen. And we have to continue to trust Him as children of God, to continue to lean into our relationship with them. And that kind of brings us all the way back to Exodus 19. And, you know, the children of God had been in slavery for hundreds of years. And you ask yourself, like, my goodness, what's to make of all this? And were they any less beautiful to Him? No. Were they being tormented and punished? I believe that the Lord has allowed things in our lives so that we would always come back to Him. Maybe this is a great moment where you say, a father's love would allow us to go through something so that we would get on our hands and knees once again and say, Father, I love you, I repent, I confess, and I want to go forward in this relationship with you. Not worried about my past, not worried about what's happening right now, but just the future. That's what He's concerned about. And He allows things to happen so that we will come back to Him, we'll draw closer to Him. And just like any massive disaster that ever happens worldwide, people start praying. And so whatever the case may be, for whatever reason why we're here, it's not about the why. We wouldn't be able to handle the why even if He told us the answer. But what can we do about that now? We can realize that the Father's love is all that matters. And if you've accepted Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior in your heart, you're a child of God. And this is what I want to share with you today, is to remember a Father's love for you. Here you are, the Israelites have been in bondage for 400 years. And we say, well, what's next? Well, what's next, and let me just read this for you out of verse 4. You have seen, Exodus 19, verse 4, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians. First of all, God is going to take care of whatever is happening in this world. Maybe you feel like you're in bondage. He can take care of that. Maybe you're feeling like you've been oppressed. God is big enough to take care of that. And we will end up testifying and saying, this is what God did in my life. And He's reminding the Israelites, do you remember what I did to the sin and to the issue and the concern and the worldwide problems? Do you remember what I did? The Egyptians was the entire world to the Israelites. There was nothing more than being in Egypt in bondage. And He says, remember what I did to those that were oppressing you. Why? Because you came back to me. I allowed this to happen. I heard your cries. I sent you a liberator. I sent you a leader. Remember, I'm taking care of you. You have seen what I did to the Egyptians and how I bore you on eagle's wings. He's saying, remember when you had nothing left and you came back to me and I marched you right out of your bondage. I marched you right out of the issues that you couldn't see. I marched you right out of the fear that you didn't understand, but yet you had it nonetheless. I marched you right out on eagle's wings, just meaning that there is nothing higher. Like, if you want to be anywhere in the world, you want to be in the protection and the comfort of your Father, who I'm reminding you today loves you very much, on eagle's wings and brought you. See, he doesn't just bring you out of a bad situation, but he brings you into his arms, into his wings, and that's where we want to be. I encourage you today that no matter how you're feeling, what you're going through, what you think is coming at you from all different sides, God will march you right out of that as children of his, and he will bring you closer to him. And that is truly the energy and the life that we are looking for. Hey, we love you. We're praying for you. Check us out at www.journeychurchag.org, and we'll see you tomorrow for Friday's Journey Devotion.